The Wellness Show, episode 124.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyhson Banighen, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more.
The thing is, we have all been brought up under the illusion of a world that operates under what I call Newtonian physics, cause and effect. If you push something hard enough, it will fall over. To every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. 2 + 2 = 4, yada, 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 all of this stuff. And on one level, that seems to work fine. But now we're coming to a level of quantum physics. And quantum physics says, hey, I can tickle unboundedness over here and it lasts over here. Things just pop up for no apparent reason and disappear. Some other things pop up and they go on and on and on. They build a whole civilization and then they disappear. All kinds of things happen seemingly random. We're coming to a world where we need to get that, hey, I want a new car. There's a new car. Not I have to work for 2 months or 5 years, or I have to get the money or not. It's always, how do we want to say this? We create from unboundedness. The whole creation is being created from unboundedness moment by moment. And because of that, that's what allows us to move forward. And the memory of what was there a moment ago is a large part of the picture. And yet there's a very clear intention that we change, that we change, that we change. When we get enough people on the planet who are clear thinking enough to say we want to change to create a more Eden-like world, a more harmonious world, it doesn't have to be even 50%, even 40%, even 30% of the population. When it gets to be enough, that's going to direct that flow into each moment that creates the next one. Because most...
So now we've got the crossover between the meditation group and what we were going to do in the show today, and that is entrepreneurship for the spiritually gifted. Because what you just said is so eloquent, which is really what used to work in the Newtonian world of how to show up and make things happen by pushing and working hard. For the spiritually gifted doesn't work anymore because it's not supposed to work anymore because we have a new way that we are being asked to show up. And that's the message I'd like to get out to this new group. And that's why we want to bring them together so that manifestation is a collective experience as well as an individual. So we can bring about this planetary change and transformation together.
Good. Ask for what you want, not how you think you can eat, not how you think it should come about. Don't say I want $100 in my bank account and I can get it by buying a lottery ticket, or I can talk to my friend, or I can get a job. Don't figure it out for Divine Mother. Don't figure it out for nature. This is what I want. Little kids have this all the time. You know, you take the kid to the toy store, the candy store, the kid says, I want that. The kid's 2 years old. He doesn't know money. You can't explain, well, I understand you want that, but I'd have to work 6 hours of overtime to get that for you, yada, yada. And the kid just no ears for it. Even if you went to explain it to him, they don't, I want it. I want fine here. And they give it to you, okay? Like that, we want to focus on what we want, and we want heaven on earth, period. We just want it. We don't care about the order of yugas. We don't care about karma. We don't care about, we honor all of those things, and I don't mean to slight them in any way, but we're little kids who just want all the glory that the divine has created for all of our friends and all of our family, and the world is our family. We just want it for everybody.
So I got, and that was beautiful, by the way. I also got about for the idea that if I want something like a new van, it's time to upgrade. It's not that I'm waiting for the money to materialize, so I feel good about that. I just go and get the new van, knowing that it will all come together because that's what I want. I think that's part of the understanding is that we're not needing to have a time sequence connected to it that I have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then I can go and do something. I think I hear you saying you can step into the reality of that receiving right here, right now, if you so choose.
You're exactly right and slightly off. And we talked about this a moment ago. If you believe that you're taken care of, you can be completely taken care of. And then it flows perfectly. But if you believe that you have to do X, Y, Z and follow a particular sequence, then indeed you have to do X, Y, Z and follow a particular sequence. One of the big things that, all the boundaries are in the mind. All the boundaries are in the mind, okay? So you think of this, the simplest analogy of that is, where do you wear your belt? Do you wear your belt so it just covers your navel? Do you wear it at the top of your hips? Do you wear it just under your bosom? Do you wear it down just over your crotch so that your butt is hanging out? All of these different things. And we can just look in the past 50 years and between the both sexes and seeing the belt move all over the place, So where do you wear your belt? It's in your mind. You wear it where you think you should wear it. So with that in mind, if I think I need to be responsible, if we go with this kind of thinking, I'm a responsible person and I need to save the money first and then I need to get the van, and if I don't, something will go amiss, we better do it that way or something will go amiss. But we're the ones creating that. Absolutely, we're the ones creating that. And I was just reading a little thing this morning from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who founded TM. These days, most people tend to think of him as the Beatles guru, but he was mine. And it's a story way back in the early 60s, and he's leaving Los Angeles to go to some other place. And the people that have been, helping him say to him, "Oh, do you have money? You're going to need money." And he says, I never think for money. And they said, "But what if the people who are meeting you are late? What if you?" He said, "I never worry for money." And the woman he was talking to said, "Case closed. That was it. That was the end of it. He didn't travel with money. He didn't worry for money. He just went." And, he did pretty well, I mean, he built a really huge worldwide movement with millions and millions of people following, including the Beatles, and just never worried for money. It just wasn't there. So that was how his world was. And the truth is that any of us, how do we want to say this? Those who are worthy can have that. How to determine if you're worthy is another thing altogether, but basically it's how in tune with nature are you. So I wasn't going to go here, but less, because we're talking about money for spirituality, and you're going to have to go back and put an intro on this later, or we'll do it at the end and you'll cut it in or something. Okay, here's the deal. If we're spiritually inclined and we're in alignment with truth, bears don't worry about money, angels don't worry about money, fish don't worry about money, planets don't worry about money, crickets don't worry about money. Of all of the beings on all of the planets that have beings, there is literally only about half a dozen planets that deal with money the way we do. In all of creation, of all of the trillions, quadrillion Googleplexes of species that exist between heaven and hell, humans in America and a few other countries on this planet, and six other planets worry about money, and no one else does. Ever. Ever. The bear gets up, he wants a fish, he goes to the stream. He wants honey, he finds the beehive. He doesn't go to the bees and say, okay, let's negotiate. He doesn't go to the stream and say, you got fish in there, give me. He doesn't do that. The whole thing is a Maya. It's an illusion. And it's created by greed. It's created by greed. And we're talking about greed way back before medieval times, way back, in caveman. Greed says, God says, Mother Divine says, when they create creation, I'm creating an abundance for everyone. I'm creating more than enough for everyone. Why are you pointing at me there?
I was just putting you up so that you're full. I was side by side with you. I'm going to give you full on. You're full on,
Oh, now I feel special. So
you are special.
Thank you very much. So are you, Tyson. Okay, so the Creator says, kind Creator, I'm creating creation for joy, for love. I want to see everybody. I want, the parent wants the child to be happy. The Creator wants everyone in creation to be happy. Yin and yang and opposites, we'll talk about in a minute, but wants everyone to be happy. So in a generous flavor, in a generous mood, more than enough for everyone. More than enough for everyone. And then somebody comes along on this planet, on a few other planets, somebody comes along once and they say, you know that air you're breathing? If you want to breathe that air, you have to give me something. I'm going to stand between you and the air you're breathing. And if you keep breathing, you're going to have to give me something.
That's what's happening with water on the planet right now. Water,
air, food, whatever it is, somebody comes up and somehow convince, instead of people going, what are you, not? And maybe the guy's bigger, bulkier, maybe he's going to hit you till you decide to give him something and you do it out of, somewhere along the way you decided, okay, I guess if I'm going to breathe, if I'm going to drink, if I'm going to eat, I'm going to get a portion of this animal that we just killed as a tribe, this guy has to get more for some reason, so I have to get less. And that psychology, people bought it. The human race just bought it, and they went with it, and they painted themselves, and they backed themselves into a corner by it, where the illusion has become the reality. And I only want to get into this briefly because we're talking about spirituality because we're talking about affluence for the spiritually minded. We want them to understand the illusion and how to get out of it. So what happened, at least in America, and then because of its influence in the world, is money, which is nothing more than a concept. It's just an idea. It's just an idea, and each country has a group of people. Most of them, in many countries, it's not even political people, it's a private company that decide how much money that company has. And this is crucial, Tyson. It's literally a group of men. I don't think there's many women anywhere on the planet that do it. A group of men who sit down and say, today the country will have $15 trillion. Today we're going to put more money into it. Today we're going to take out money from it. And they decide it. They decide it. Based on what? Based on a whim. It's not based on resources. It's not based on gold. It's not based on pure air. It's not based on food. It's based on what they think the economy will do. And because they do this, other people have gotten up and saying, ooh, the idea of money, the idea of money. This is great. I want more of the idea of money. I want my computer digits to have more zeros after the ones to the side that says I have more money than someone else. And they start chasing it to the extent that money has become a product into and of itself. And when they did that and divorced it from actual food and clothing and gold and jewels and stuff, when they evaporated it like that, these people are just like off in the clouds. There's some fantasy thing about what they have for money. I want to get back to the spiritual thing, but we do want to cover this one thing. We really want to make it clear that money is a state of mind. Because when we come out on the other side and the spiritually minded people start grasping it, they too can create the money they want. Again, not how do I do it? I want this. I want this. We're going to come back to that. I saw a clip once. These people went to the Cayman Islands because they wanted to see all the money. The Cayman Islands is one of the big places that people in the US hide their money. And they showed us this little 3-story building. It wasn't huge, small 3-story building. And they said within that are like 3,000 or 300, some outrageous number of companies existed within that building, representing billions, if not trillions of dollars in this small building. They're not there. They're absolutely not there. What is there? Some small computers that in their digital, binary code house something. And if you beamed that building into space and evaporated that building and all that money disappeared, it wouldn't affect, how do we say this in a way? Nothing on the physical level of the world, nothing would change. The exact same amount of corn would be there, the exact same amount of carrots would be there, the exact same amount of people who want food would be there, everything would be the same, but because this thing disappeared, all hell would break loose. Everybody would freak out, everybody would go, whatever. And what did we lose? And literally a little electronic impulse that said, oh, there's so many zeros here. There's so many zeros here. That's it. That is absolutely it. I own more than you, Tyson. I'm 15 times richer than you. I get to fly first.
You got more zeros.
Pardon?
You got more zeros.
Yeah, I got more zeros. I've got more of nothing than anyone else, and so I'm huge. And that's exactly it. There was somebody my sister worked with at one point, Lazarus. She spent a lot of time working with him, and I'm not that familiar with again, it was some downloading from some other planes, and he said, if you look, even the credit card has a hologram on it. They're telling you it's an illusion. They're telling you the whole thing is an illusion. It's absolutely an illusion. And I heard it said once that Maharishi said that money was a state of mind. I never actually heard him say that. But if you realize that, and you realize that it is a state of mind, it literally is nothing other than a state of mind. It does not exist anywhere else. It doesn't exist. You think angels get up in the morning and say, man, I got to get my 9 hours. I got to punch the clock in. I've got it 8 hours, whatever it is. You think fish get up and go, oh my God, where's my time card? I need to eat today. I need to have water. And I don't know where I'm going to get water swimming in this ocean or river or stream if I don't do my work. No. It's a mindset propagated by those who need help. They need help. And that's it. They need help.
Isn't that true? They need help, and that's the way to look at it.
Yeah.
You don't get caught in the conspiracy theory. These are people that don't that really need help. They don't understand what it is to have an open heart. They don't know what it is to share. They've never ever learned those things, so they think that they have to do this to feel all right about themselves, to have status in the world, whatever the reason is. But it's all, like you say, an illusion. They're not going to get what they really want.
So now that we understand the basis of it and we understand the solution, Tyhson, I think why don't we move into how to make that work to the benefit of the spiritually minded. And the first thing that we want to point out is something that has been called nature support, support of nature, divine support, synchronicity, things working out. The first thing we want to do is we want to attune our life to wholeness, to the basis of everything. In the same, because if we can align to that basic intelligence, then just as the tree that's accessing the DNA structured in the seed becomes a beautiful, great tree, when we access that wholeness from which, that totality from which everything springs, that has the intelligence of nature, that in fact all of creation comes from. I might be going a little fast, so we'll back up to this. But if we can access that, then we're in the flow and we're in the synchronicity, and then what we want comes unasked. We've all had that experience where this fell out of the sky, somebody turned around and gave us something, just something worked out somewhere, right?
Yeah, so for those on the call, you know what it is to be in the flow. If you're an artist, you know what it is to create, and you can't even remember to eat. If you're a basketball player, you know what it is to be in the zone when you dunk that ball. If you're a golf player, you know what it is to be in the zone. It's magic. You don't have to think. You don't have to even worry. You just do. And actually, you don't even do. You don't think about doing. It's actually being. And it's easy. It's wonderful. You feel enlightened. You have so much energy. You may have spent 10 hours doing it, but it feels like a second went by. That's being in the zone. That's synchronicity.
Right. And the thing is, we want to live in that state, and then we're infinitely cared for. But we also want to have our aspirations. We don't want to believe that, oh, in this culture, sports people make a lot of money. If you're really good, I'm only mediocre, therefore I can't make a good living. Or I'm an artist, and artists can only make money commercially. I can't live in a penthouse and have a very great life of luxury if I'm an artist or farmer or whatever it is that our calling is. Whatever our calling is, it's our calling. It's good. It's good for us. It helps support the world. And we want to acknowledge that. That doesn't mean that we're valued less. And the more in line with that we are, then the more moments that we have that synchronicity. And the more moments that we have that, the simpler life becomes. We move in that flow. The goal is to live in that permanently. But we're greedy. We want not only that inner feeling of energy and fullness and bliss, but we want to, out of the desire to bow to the Creator, because we're spiritual people, out of our desire to do that, we want to offer the Creator in gratitude all the Creator has given us, which is not poverty unless we've taken vows of poverty. We want to say, look at what this amazing Rolls Royce is like, or Mercedes, or Honda Civic. It doesn't matter. But we want a car that we feel worthy of. We want to live a life that is comfortable for us. And again, we need to accept that we're worthy of it and ask for it. 98% of the problem is right there. 98% of the problem is we don't believe we're worthy of it. And the reason we don't believe it is the propaganda that we've been fed based on the illusion that money is something. that has been propagated for these people who need help. That's
And
it.
that's part of the equation. And the last part of the equation, what you said is so important, is most of us forget to ask, or we don't ask clearly what it is we want, or we ask in a way that's conditional.
Or we ask, conditional means it has to come to me this way.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I know a couple, and the husband was always like, money just comes, don't worry about it, money just comes. And the wife was like very well trained in the ways of the West, such that the ways that money comes is you have a job, or you do this, or you do that. And they split up. And within a year of when they split up, he was like making 5 times more than they had ever been making together. And she was like, oh my God. And he was not doing much. And she was like, oh my God, maybe I was holding us back, you know? And, you know, she's come a long way since then. So things are great. So that's very good. But we don't want to be the ones that put a limit on either, okay, I want $1 million, but it has to come on Tuesday between 11 and 11:15. It has to come in a 9.5 by 10.5 size envelope. The envelope has to be green, and it has to be delivered by a dwarf. I mean, you know, come on, what's nature going to do? I can't put that together by Tuesday for you, even if I wanted to, and why would I? You know, the dwarfs are busy, I don't have enough, you know, but if you just say, hey, I just want the money, I don't care where it comes from. I just want the car, I just want the house, I want the furniture, I want the relationship, I want the dignity that I want. You know, there's a phrase that says, no self-respecting man will sit in a place unworthy of him. And it's very true, but the problem is most of us are not self-respecting.
Join us for part 2 with David and Tyhson next Monday.
FindingTheForest.com, Training the Trainers.
A webinar series launching April 15th, 2017.
Tyhson Banighen,
And Courtney Starhart Hale.
Modern Day Shamans.
Training the tribe.
Join the evolution.
If you are looking for a tribe of light workers who are helping each other to deliver their awesome message to the world, then join us.
At FindingTheForest.com.
Interview on the Wellness Show to learn more about who we are. Courtney Starhart Hale.
Author, artist, shaman, activist, and clan mother. Tyhson Banighen.
The energy detective, artist, author, shaman, environmentalist, and mentor.
Bridging ancient and modern.
The evolution is here and now.
Is this for you?
If you're a change agent, an empath, light worker, visionary, or a heart-centered person,
Imagine working with a group of like-minded people whose goal is to make millions to reach millions and create a new planetary system that benefits all of life.
are you in?
Go to FindingTheForest.com.
Our special program,
An ongoing series for trainers to discover their unique gifts.
helping others manifest their gifts into the world.
Join a community of like-minded people to shift the world together.
What you get.
Get rid of inner conflict and doubt.
Map a beautiful path for your life with the sacred science of spirit.
Use your gifts to turbo boost your abilities.
Learn to drive your mental vehicle.
Receive reliable GPS directions to your destiny.
Join now and get a free book
Urban Shaman 1, Love.
at www.findingtheforest.com.
Launching April 15th, 2017.
A training for trainers.
Webinar series.
See you there.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.